Hey, everybody. Good college football Saturday. It's Trailblazer game day. Devin Dixon, Paul Ratliff here from the Fan Sports Network studios getting you ready for kickoff. Utah Tech in Texas for a matchup inside the United Athletic Conference with number 20 in one poll, number 18 in the other poll, Abilene Christian, Pauly. Here we go. We're getting close to the final couple weeks of the regular season. Big-time top 20 matchup again for Tech today.
Yeah, this is another big-time opponent, nationally ranked, really high-powered offense, stingy defense. Utah Tech's been through a murderer's row of opponents this season, and this is another one to add to the list. A really talented football team. They're going to have to be ready to play.
Yeah, and history is not on the Trailblazers' side, so let's see if they can defy history. Utah Tech 0-3 all-time versus ACU, which includes a 24-7 road loss the last time the two teams met up in Abilene, which was 2 years ago. But trending in the right direction, Paul. You were at Greater Zion Stadium. They had 4 weeks at home in between a bye, and Utah Tech coming off that thrilling 34-33 overtime victory over North Alabama last Saturday. Holy smokes, that was nice to see, win number 2 of the season.
Absolutely. When the PAT from Ilya Uvadov went through the uprights, it was pure jubilation on the sideline. You could see that that team had really been thirsty and hungry, just longing for that first UAC win, second one of the season. Forward progression under Lance Anderson's guidance, as in year 2, we are seeing improvement. And I think this is another opportunity against a nationally ranked team to absolutely put a mark on this season.
And look, overtime had not been on the Trailblazers' side. This was the first overtime win in the program's 20-year NCAA era. They had lost 6 straight overtime games prior to last Saturday. Now, a lot of those happened in the D2 era. But, of course, last year we know the SUU double overtime heartbreaker, 37-34. That was the 2024 season finale. So nice to win a close game. How many times, Paul, have we heard Coach Lance Anderson, Utah Tech head football coach in his second season, say, we've got to learn how to finish?
Yeah, finishing games. The fourth quarter, the toughest stage of a football game, obviously. The fatigue playing in, the depth, the injuries, all things are tested throughout a 4-quarter game. And finishing has been an issue for the Blazers, but not against North Alabama. That was a heroic game. You know, the comeback, just the turnovers, Asa Chapman, Bretton Stone, Daniel Thomason, all had huge plays in the game. So it just, and that was another thing Coach Anderson talked about, was the explosive plays being absent from the Trailblazers offense. They were present last week. Multiple big plays, explosives throughout the game that really buoyed them to victory.
Utah Tech, another ranked opponent, though. This is the 6th matchup against a ranked opponent this season. So today, trying to put a win streak together, going to be a huge challenge. And we're going to dive into Abilene Christian. We got a great show on tap for you today. We're going to hear from Bretton Stone. You just mentioned Bretton Stone, Snow Canyon Warrior, local kid playing a senior season for the Trailblazers. Deline is going to join us as well.
Yeah.
Coach Brumfield will be by. You had a chance to talk with him inside our coordinator corner. So a lot coming up here on the pregame show. Couple other key nuggets for the game today, though. This will be another road-ranked opponent in which Utah Tech is 0-5 this season. They've lost all 5 against ranked opponents, and they are 5-38 all-time against ranked opponents. Wouldn't it be nice to win an overtime home game, first home game win of the year, to follow it up with a win over a ranked opponent? I mean, that would be a nice way to take some momentum into the last couple weeks of the season. Of course, we're going to be getting down to Rod Zundel a little bit later on. Kickoff again, 1 o'clock Mountain Time, right here on the Fan Sports Network. And look, a win for Utah Tech, 3rd of the season, would be the first road victory for Lance Anderson. You know, here we are, Paul, towards the end of the 2nd season. No road wins for Coach Anderson yet.
Yeah, the road games, obviously a lot of travel in the UAC with teams all over the map. So makes for different travel schedules and difficult travel schedules at that. So I think road football games hard to win at any level of football. And Coach Anderson's seen that, like you say, no road victories yet. But an opportunity, prime opportunity here. Ranked opponent on the road. An awesome chance for the Trailblazers today.
And look, a third win of the season, a road victory. That's what the Trailblazers are gunning for. A second United Athletic Conference victory. That's what's on the line. And, of course, we know this will be the final season in the UAC with the Big Sky coming next summer. And, boy, oh, boy, that's going to be fun. The schedule came out about a week ago. There's going to be some Big Sky opponents that will be non-conference games that were previously scheduled, plus the slate. So going to see a lot different schedule next fall. But right now, it's all about this year, this team, and finish the season strong. We'll see how it plays out today. You look at the United Athletic Conference standings coming in. Tarleton State lost last week, Paulie.
Yes.
Kind of a shocker. So they're now 9-1, 5-1 in conference, still atop the conference standings. Obviously going to be a playoff team and still a highly ranked team at that. Abilene Christian is 4-1 in the conference, but only 5-4 overall. So that is the test today. They're second in the conference standings. SU's now 3-2 in conference, 4-5 overall. They're at Eastern Kentucky. That game kicking off here at 1:00 as well, Mountain Time. West Georgia and Austin Peter both 3-3 in conference. Eastern Kentucky is 2-3. Central Arkansas is 2-3, and then you've got North Alabama and Utah Tech both there at 1-4. All right, guests start rolling in here on Trailblazer Game Day. When we come back, Paulie and I. We'll get some guests rolling through, getting you ready for Trailblazer kickoff, 1:00 at Abilene Christian. Brett Stone and Delaney going to join us. Delaney, going to join us coming up next. Stick around. We'll be right back on Trailblazer Game Day.
The red rocks call, I hear my name. Tread this dirt and you're never the same. At Utah Tech, it runs in our veins. We're Trailblazers. Oh, Trailblazers.
Here with former Snow Canyon Warrior and current Trailblazer running back, Mr. Brett Stone. How are you doing tonight, Brett?
Doing great. Just finished up practice. Get ready for Abilene Christian.
All right, ready to take on those Wildcats. And last week, Coach Anderson was saying you guys needed more explosive plays. And you say, I got you, Coach. Take us through your 35-yard TD scamper against North Alabama last week.
Yeah, man. I mean, watching the clip, you can see how easy it was. The boys up front, they made the way for me. So, yeah, Coach did challenge us to make more plays, and Coach Jameson also gave us the goal to make plays in the running back room, and so I think that's what we did. We had 3 touchdowns in the room, so when I score, everyone scores. When Asa scores, everyone scores. So we had 3 touchdowns, and I'm excited about that.
3 touchdowns, 219 yards on the ground last week. What's it like to have that synergy with your offensive line when they're just opening up holes that I could see from the press box up there? You could drive a truck through some of those holes.
No, it's great. It's great to know that we can run the football when everyone in the stadium knows that we're going to run the football. Yeah. So that's something that, we take pride in. We're going to continue to do that, and it's only going to open up the pass game and more explosives, and I think we got it good going forward. So.
Absolutely. And Brad, of course, you are a former Snow Canyon Warrior. What's it like having a good contingent of local guys, a lot of Region 9 guys on the Utah Tech roster?
It's great. I think we're definitely putting the Utah boys on the map a little bit, showing that we can play ball, and I think it's a great thing that I can play. I've been playing with these dudes my whole life, so it's really fun.
Awesome. And let's get to know you a little more, Brad. What's your major, man?
Business management.
Okay, business management. He's got his mind on big things. Your favorite food?
Favorite food? I have to go steak and mashed potatoes.
Oh, meat and potatoes.
Medium rare
he
steak.
likes the heavy hitters. That's right. And your biggest supporter?
Biggest supporter, I had to say my dad, of course. He comes to every game, travels every game. He's the only reason that I was able to do this. So I definitely say my dad is my biggest supporter.
Okay, Pops has got your back. Favorite sport other than football?
Okay, I would have to say to play, I'll say basketball. To watch, I'll say Baseball.
Baseball.
Nice,
Okay, cool.
okay.
Awesome. Great World Series we just saw.
Yeah, great World Series.
All right, most fun road trip this season with Trailblazer football.
This season, I would have to say NAU. I'll say NAU.
Okay.
I mean, we went out before the game, got some food and stuff. It was fun.
Nice. All right. And trying to string together some wins here. Let's get back to the offense again. What do you guys have to do to keep generating big plays?
Keep running the football.
Keep running the
I think we
football,
need
said
to-
like a true running back.
Continue to own the trenches. I think that's our main thing, and just keep building our confidence. You know, I think we have a lot of great players on offense, and if we can just continue to build confidence and make plays, I think we're going to be in a really good spot.
Absolutely. And last one I got for you, Bratton, what brought you to Utah Tech?
What brought me here, I used to come to all the games when I was younger, so I always wanted to play D1, and that was my goal. So I actually went to Snow College before this, and then Coach, he's not here no more. Coach Tui came, he recruited me here, so ever since then it was all love, close to home. Dad and siblings can come to all the games, so it was kind of easy choice for me.
Just a match made in heaven,
made,
right?
really,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Whole family's down here. So.
Absolutely. So this is former Snow Canyon Warrior, Mr. Bretton Stone, and current Trailblazer running back. See him this Saturday against the Abilene Christian Wildcats on the Fan. Here with Adrian Darlene as we get set to road trip out to Texas to take on the Abilene Christian Wildcats. First off, how we doing, Adrian?
Good. Just excited to be here. Just be able to talk with you guys.
Absolutely. We're excited to talk to you, my friend. First off, huge W last week, and you, my friend, made a massive play with your interception of North Alabama's talented quarterback, Destin Wade. Take us through that play.
I was just running the design play call, what we're supposed to do. Did my job. Luckily, my guy, Dallin Havea, got to the quarterback, allowing that ball to come free, and me just being in the right place, right time, being able to come down with that interception was really great experience.
Great experience and a game-changing play for the Trailblazers. What was the feeling like on the sideline as Ilya's PAT went through the uprights and you guys got your first UAC win?
I felt amazing. I mean, since we all fought, throughout. We had 3 linebackers out last week. We all stepped up. We were battling every step of that way. So for that field goal, we finally get that win. It just felt like it was a massive payoff. So
absolutely, a huge payoff in the first UAC win. Like I said, what stood out about Utah Tech during the recruiting process? You're a Gilbert, Arizona guy, and why did you ultimately end up deciding to become a Trailblazer?
What stood out about Utah Tech is like the fast upbringing of the program. Like how the new coaching staff. I really liked the coaching staff and what they were about. Like when they were recruiting me, showed me love throughout everything I was going through with everything. So it just really felt like the place I needed to be, and a place where I could really show my talent and become a great football player here.
Awesome. And I wanted to get to know you a little better, Adrian, as our listeners do too. What is your major in school?
My major is business management.
Oh, another guy, business on his mind.
Sure.
Favorite meal for you, Adrian?
My favorite meal would have to be chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo. That sounds pretty good. Your biggest fan?
My biggest fan had to be my dad. Also, actually, just all my family. My dad, RP to my mother, but my mom and my sister. So one's back home in Arizona.
We got your back,
Biggest
absolutely.
fans.
And your best road trip this season, my friend?
Had to be definitely NAU.
Okay.
Because going to high school in Arizona, definitely the school, like being in Arizona, so definitely just hit home, and especially my dad being able to come out to that game, especially since it was only like a 2-hour drive, so really had a special place.
Awesome. Got to get your dad out there. That's awesome, man. And tell us one thing that the Trailblazers fans should know about you that they probably don't know right now.
One thing I'd have to say is I'm a very good roller skater.
Oh,
very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you take your talents to the ice, or is it just rollerblades?
Just quad skating, really, in the
Oh,
roller rink.
nice. Cool, man. And last one for you, Adrian. If the Trailblazers win this week, what do you guys have to do on defense to stop the high-powered Wildcats offense?
Just stick to our game plan. Stick with our coaches installed for us to execute, fly around to the ball, make plays, and get stops on our defense. So come out victorious after that Saturday game. So that's
All right, that's number 26 in your program. Number 1 in his dad's, sister, and family's heart, Mr. Adrian Deline. Thanks so much for your time. And you could see him this Saturday against the Abilene Christian Wildcats on ESPN Plus or listen live on The Fan.
Welcome in to Coordinator's Corner on the Trailblazer pregame show, and joined by a special guest, none other than Special Teams Coordinator Kyan Brumfield. How are you, Coach?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Awesome, man. The vibes are high after last week. Wanted to ask you to describe the emotions on the sideline after Ilya's PAT went through the uprights to give you guys your first conference win in the UAC.
Oh, it's great. It's always good to, experience a win. Obviously, came down to the wire, so that makes it even more better, but winning is hard at any level, so just a great feeling.
Absolutely, and I'm sure the guys are pumped up. And speaking on Ilya, he's hit a couple of 50-plus yarders this season. A couple is an understatement. I think it's now 3 or 4 now.
Yeah.
What a weapon he is. Talk about how having a place kicker that good in your arsenal, it makes it 3 points. When you get across the 50 into that 40, 35 area, it's almost time to bring Ilya out.
Exactly, and it's funny because with Ryan being such a good punter and Ilya being such a good kicker, there's almost like no pooch punt area where we have on the field, because as soon as we get into what normally is pooch punt range, Ilya is able to kick a field goal, and Ryan's almost kicking them into the end zone from the other 45. So it's just it's great.
It's an embarrassment of riches for the special teams department. For a special teams coordinator, that's got to be awesome having those two guys, Marks and Ilya.
It's amazing. Like it's 100%. A gift to be able to depend on them and then being able to be, so what is it called, accountable.
Absolutely. And I always wondered we always hear about the defensive players, the offensive players, but what really goes into finding and recruiting a really good field goal kicker? Like is it soccer backgrounds a lot of the time? Is it like these Aussies I've heard about with punters? Like there's so many different kickers and punters and they come from all different places. So what goes into recruiting a good one?
Yeah, so I won't take credit for Ilya. He was here before I got here, so that's on the past coordinator. So I'll give him credit for that. But in terms of something that I personally look for is, especially to me, kicking and punting. A lot of people have such great legs and such good strength, but to me, it's just the ability to be able to compete and perform under pressure. So my thing is, if I'm going somewhere, I want to see someone perform under pressure. Like if I'm going to a high school game, I want the kid to know, I am coming to the game, and him just have a little more pressure. And see how he performs under that. So I think that's the most important thing to me. Like, how does he perform whenever the game's on the line? How does he perform whenever there's a lot of people cheering, a lot of people booing, all that type of stuff?
Absolutely. Pressure, a huge part of a kicker's job.
Yeah.
And a punter, too. When the rush is on, trying to block that kick in the late stretches of games, getting those punts off, so vital. And another special teams question I had for you, what qualities do you look for in a kick returner or punt returner whenever you're deciding who to put back there? Obviously, it's been Shamar primarily this season, doing a lot of those duties for you. But what goes into picking your punt and kick returners?
Well, first off, when it comes to punt returning, definitely catching the ball. That's the most important for punt return. But the second thing you look for is just playmaking ability. If you can't, basically, there's 11 people on the field. If we have one person returning the ball, obviously someone's free, right? So you have to be able to make the first person miss. If you can't make him miss, then there's almost no point in putting you on the field,
Yeah.
So I would say that's the most important thing. Do you have the ability to make a play when one's not there?
In space, obviously, because on a kick or punt, you've got time. You got a little bit of time to formulate your path and stuff like that. And is that another thing you work with them on? Is the path they take and following their blocks? Because there's no more wedge. Obviously that's been outlawed, but you can still follow a contingent of blockers a little way until you find your path and get going upfield.
100%. I would say kick return specifically. You got to have a path and got to have. This is where we're gonna follow. Obviously, if something happens, I gotta get off of that. But kick return for sure, path. Punt return, we have a side. You'll have a middle, you'll have the right, you'll have a left, you'll have boundary, you'll have field. But usually it's just a playmaking because people are running all over the field. It's more like punt return, I would say, is a mess every single time for everyone. If they tell you it's not, it is. I know you. I'm assuming y'all probably saw Texas A&M's return versus LSU.
I did.
Dude broke 7 tackles. Was the boundary return, went to the field. I don't think they drew it up like that.
And it's just controlled chaos. A punt return is just people everywhere, all kinds of stuff going on. So like you say, you just want one of your best athletes that can catch the ball, right?
Exactly.
That's the most important thing when you're talking punts. 100%. So one more special teams question, then we'll go into kind of the stretch run of this year. What are some of the special teams keys against Abilene Christian and the Wildcats Wildcats, a nationally ranked team on the road, a tough environment, most likely. What are some of the keys for you, Coach Brumfield, going into this game for the special teams units?
Just in their terms of their return unit, they have a couple keys and everything. We got to make sure that we're going to where the return is going, not to where it was, and not to where he is. Like, he may catch the ball all the way 5 yards from the, out of bounds line to the boundary side, right? But if everyone's going to the field, the return's going to the field. There's no reason for us to run to the boundary. So we just got to, make sure that we're running where the ball is going to be and not where it is. So I would say that's same for punt as well. Like, we got to make sure that we're covering. Like we just talked about, the best athlete is the returner for almost every team. So we got to make sure that we're, taking pride in it, but also, have a sense of urgency as well.
That's right. And as far as last week's game, wanted to circle back one more time. Yeah. What was your thoughts when the North Alabama kicker kicked it off the upright in overtime? I mean, did you just see the door of opportunity swinging wide open, or what were your thoughts as a special teams guy when that happened?
It definitely put a smile on my face because I was genuinely surprised. He's a good kicker.
Yeah.
Didn't see it coming. We did a good rush, but I would assume, a block would be our only chance of not, allowing it. But he missed it, and it was very, very fortunate for us.
Absolutely. It led to, ultimately Asa Chapman finds his way in. Ilya hits the PAT, and you guys are victorious for the second one of the season. Yes. So this is your first year at Utah Tech, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what is tell us about how you've liked St. George, the program, just the whole St. George as a city. I mean, being a newcomer, I'm from Virginia. I'm not from here either. I've been here about 9 years and love it.
Okay.
But do you love it? Have you loved St. George so far?
Yeah, I have loved it so far. In my past, I've been in a lot of different places, and a lot of different places as of recent too. So really looking forward to being here and growing a family here hopefully soon. Right now it's just me and my wife, but love St. George. Really good family place, beautiful area, really nice people, great weather as well. Like, love the, it's not snowing yet. My family's up in Syracuse, New York right now.
Yeah.
And it's snowing this weekend. So that's something I'm really happy about.
That's right. Not having to put the snow tires on and drive through all that snow every year.
Mm-hmm. Salting the little driveways and everything.
Shoveling, all those pains that we remember, right?
Exactly.
But this week, Abilene Christian is the task. And what are the keys for the team as a whole? We've asked you for the special teams keys, but at a wider glance, what do you think the keys are to victory if you guys are going to come home against the Wildcats with a victory?
I would say first and foremost, just sound fundamental football. We have good players, and we have the ability to, win these games. I think that one thing that, we can get better, and probably every other team in America can get better at, is just doing the fundamentals, right? Trusting our technique, but also trusting our teammates. If I'm the, contain guy, then I need to be trusted, that I'm going to set the edge, whether that's on kickoff, punt, shoot, even defense. So really just trusting our teammates, trusting our technique, and doing the fundamentals, to the best of our ability, and letting the chips fall where they may,
All right. Let the chips fall where they may. You heard it here first from Coach Brumfield, gearing up for today's game against the Saturday's game, against the Abilene Christian Wildcats. We'll have it here on the Fan and on ESPN Plus, and we cannot wait, Coach. Good luck this Saturday. We'll be rooting for you, and hope you guys come home with another W.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
All right. That's Coach Brumfield on the Coordinator's Corner. We're going to take a quick break. Be back after this.
The red rocks call, I hear my name. Tread this dirt and you're never the same. At Utah Tech, it runs in our veins. We're trailblazers. Oh, trailblazers. Oh.
Welcome back, everybody. That was a lot of fun. Paulie getting to know some of the players there, Stone and Deline, and then, of course, Coach Brumfield as well. What'd you make of what Coach Brumfield had to say, Paul?
Yeah, a lot of great stuff there. Asked him what goes into finding a great kick returner like Shamar Garrett, what goes into finding a good place kicker on the recruiting trail like Ilya. We got into a lot of stuff about directions where you form the way you go on a kick return, like how they set that up and map out the path of kick returners. Kind of got in deep in special teams, then got to know him a little bit, like a lot there. It was a fun interview with Coach Brumfield.
Good stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate him taking some time out and stopping by and chatting with you, Paulie. We've got the Blazers, Abilene Christian, top 20 matchup for Utah Tech, trying to put a win streak together for the first time this year, trying to get a road game for the first time in Coach Lance Anderson's coaching tenure here at Utah Tech. Busy day in the UAC. Abilene Christian, Utah Tech, of course, 1 o'clock. SUU Eastern Kentucky is also a 1 o'clock kickoff. 2 o'clock kickoff for North Alabama and West Georgia, Austin P and Central Arkansas. Those are your other matchups coming up today inside of conference play. I mean, obviously a huge road test, Paulie. What's it going to take for the Blazers today to get the job done? You called the game last Saturday. You saw the overtime win. How do they duplicate that against a top 20 team?
I would say in this game, they were buoyed by and saved by huge plays made in the passing game. It was Bronson Barman, I feel like, his best game of the year passing the football. He hit lots of receivers, big plays down the field. Daniel Thomason's touchdown catch was an electrifying play, sent the whole stadium into a craze for a little bit there. And it just hasn't really been there as much this year. Big plays in the air. So I think that they will need big plays against an offense as potent as the Wildcats. They're going to have to match score for score at times, and some good defense, of course, another key. But as far as the offense goes, I think Bronson Barban and the receivers got to have some good chemistry and synergy and make some plays, deep plays down the field.
And it helps when Ace Chapman runs the ball like he did last week.
That's right. 100-yard rusher. Bretton Stone had a 35-yard touchdown run as well. Another explosive that came in the run game. So I think that, yes, the explosive plays, let's just keep the ball rolling with that. They had a lot last week. Let's see if they can get some more this week.
Again, out on the road after 4 weeks at home, and big start to this road trip in the Lone Star State. This is Trailblazer game day. Trailblazers taking on Abilene Christian ACU. You're going to hear Rod say ACU a lot this afternoon. And again, Utah Tech 0-3 all-time versus ACU. Last time they played 2 years ago, 24-7, down in Abilene 2 years ago. But got some momentum, got their second win, trying to put a streak together. Should be a lot of fun today to see how it plays out. Any X factor today, Paulie? If blank defensive player or blank offensive player plays well, Utah Tech could win this game.
I've kind of been circling Jeremiah Jamo. He was our guest last week in the pregame interviews, and I thought, son of a former player, a really good player in that, and Adi Jamo. I think that Jeremiah is going to play a big role, defending the pass game of the Wildcats, and then offensively, I think that you it's been Eric Olson a lot this season. How about Cade Naggett? I like the two tight end look. I like getting him involved. He was more so earlier on in the season. I'd like Cade Naggett to get some more targets. He's shown when given the opportunity, he can make plays.
Yeah, Utah Tech facing another top 25 team. So it's going to take good play from everybody to go down to Abilene and get the victory. We've had seasons, Paulie, where we've had, the second toughest schedule in the entire country in the FCS. And just another ranked opponent this week. All right. Going to wrap things up for us here on Trailblazer Game Day from the Fan Sports Network studios. Been a lot of fun. Paulie, a prediction on the game today. Any prediction for you before we get it down to Rod and the crew down in Abilene?
I've got a good feeling about the offense today. Don't want to make a score prediction, but I want to make a prediction on the offense. I think they're going to have more than 250-plus passing yards, and they're going to go over 150 on the ground. I think it's going to be a very profitable day for the Trailblazer offense.
All right, we'll see if that leads to a Trailblazer win. Tune in to find out. Abilene, they've won 5 of their last 8. They're 4-0 at home, and they just beat number 2 ranked Tarleton State last Saturday. So they got a lot of momentum, and they never trailed in that game, handing the Texans their first loss of the season. Watch out for Stone Earl, their quarterback, Javon Gibson, Rovan Banks Jr., their redshirt running back, some names that we'll have to try to slow down if the Blazers are going to get a win. For Paul Ratliff, I'm Devin Dixon. Stick around. Rod Zundel, it's the Trailblazers and Abilene Christian coming up next on the Fan Sports Network.
Hey, win on me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Win! Fucking go!
How about that? Touchdown, Trailblazers! Touchdown, Trailblazers!
Trailblazers!
Welcome to Trailblazer Kickoff, presented by Camping World of St. George. Your next great outdoor adventure begins under the big American flag.
Let's go!
Brenton Stone right up the middle. Brenton Stone, touchdown, Utah Tech.
After last week's overtime win over North Alabama,
Touchdown, Utah Tech. Utah Tech wins it.
Trailblazers back on the road.
Abilene.
We're in Abilene, Texas.
Prettiest town I've ever seen.
And we're 30 minutes from kick. Trailblazers and Wildcats of Abilene Christian.
My Abilene.
Stadium as the Trailblazers got their overtime win over North Alabama this afternoon. Trailblazers looking to make it 2 straight wins. Welcome to the plains of Abilene, Texas. We are on the campus of Abilene Christian University inside Wildcat Stadium. Utah Tech getting ready to tango the two-step with the Abilene Christian Wildcats. Trailblazers coming in with their first conference win last week. As we mentioned, they are 2-7 overall, 1-4 in conference play. Abilene Christian 5-4 overall. Abilene Christian 4-1 in conference play, tied for first with Tarleton State. Hi there, everybody. Rod Zundel here. Glad to have you aboard for this matinee matchup, Trailblazers and the Wildcats. This is the 4th meeting between these two. Utah Tech has never beaten Abilene Christian. They're 0 for 3. Their only game here in Abilene 2 seasons ago, Utah Tech lost that one. But Utah Tech, of course, coming off a win over North Alabama last week. And Abilene Christian, a 31-28 win in this stadium a week ago over previously undefeated and second-ranked Tarleton State. They did it with a walk-off field goal, no time remaining, and Abilene Christian and Tarleton State, they each have 1 loss apiece in conference play, and of course now Abilene Christian has the tiebreaker. So let's go back to Saturday. Utah Tech and North Alabama. Trailblazers winning their first conference game. The final there was 34-33. Overtime, first overtime win for Utah Tech in their 20-year history of being in the NCAA. Trailblazers had some big chunk runs, had a season-high 219 rushing yards. Brenton Stone right here got it started with a 35-yard touchdown. He finished with 46 yards on the ground. Asa Chapman, another big day on the ground. Asa, career-high 101 yards, first 100-yard game of his career. That touchdown tied it late in the 4th quarter to send it in overtime. Utah Tech also had a couple of pass plays over 50 yards. This one to Daniel Thomason, 66-yard touchdown. Thomason, 104 receiving yards, second career game over the century mark. Then they made the big play when they had to, down 6 in overtime, 4th and 10, had to have it, and they got it. Bronson Barbin to Thomason for a first down. Barbin, a career-high 272 yards. 3 plays later, Chapman goes in the end zone to tie the game. Ilya Uvaidov kicked the extra point right after that to win it. Now, on defense, Utah Tech was missing 3 linebackers, so a couple of guys that weren't even on the depth chart a couple of weeks ago got a chance, and they came up huge. Freshman Adrian Deline tied for the team lead with 9 tackles in his first real action as a Trailblazer and his first interception. And how about junior Lolo Tafisi? He had 6 tackles, including this tackle for loss. They came up huge in helping the defense hold off the Lions of North Alabama. Those two will continue to get playing time today. However, the Trailblazers will get a couple of linebackers back. Helaman Ofahengawe back after missing the last couple of games. Logan Peely, he'll be back after missing last week. However, senior defensive lineman Leighton Tanavasa, the anchor of that defensive line, he will miss today's game with an injury. And we have also just learned that Brevin Chesnicka, the transfer out of NAU, defensive back, he will be out as well. And also the safety, R.J. Jones, the transfer out of UCLA, he will also miss this game. So just like last week, Trailblazers are going to have someone that hasn't had a lot of playing time step up and make some plays today. Now, for Abilene Christian, they're also coming off an emotional win last week, as we mentioned, knocking off previously undefeated and second-ranked Tarleton State here in this stadium. 31-28 was the final on a walk-off field goal. Wildcats, they got a dynamic duo out of their running game last week. E.J. Wilson and Rovon Banks Jr. combined for 183 of the 233 yards rushing last week. In fact, E.J. Wilson was not even on the depth chart. Jordan Vaughn was injured the previous week. He was the leading rusher, and he didn't even play. But Abilene with 323 yards on the ground last year against Utah Tech in St. George. They also have a quarterback, Earl Stone, 231 yards passing a game. Defense, Wildcats gave up 360 yards last week to Tarleton State, but they held the Texans to only 94 yards rushing. So the Trailblazers got to expect much more of a difficult time trying to run the football than they did last week in Alabama. Now, senior receiver Daniel Thomason, well, he's saving his best moments of his Trailblazer career for his final season. The senior receiver, he's recorded his second career 100-yard game last week. He leads the team in receiving touchdowns with 4 this year. And he is the victim of this week's mic'd up segment, but he did not get all the way through it as defensive end Willie Engelau decided to take over at the end.
You got light-skinned juice, though.
I could do both.
You got the.
I could do both. I could be like him.
Like who? Nah, he's more like Hershey sweet.
Josh and Keo first, 20.
You know what? That's all they need, bro. Come take this off. We got enough. We not enough clip. Bro, no. Coach Given just clip farmed off me. Coach Given just clip farmed off me and then got mad. Yeah, but I had to get a couple clips, man. Y'all was giving me good content, bro, so I had to go with it. Feel me?
That's crazy.
So I had to use you guys, man. I'm sorry, bro. Like, chill, bro. Like, I'm still me, man. Hey, you wanted a clip, though?
Wolves at night.
Yeah. Like, I just want to start. Woo! You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Give me one.
do it.
I'm so cooked. They're going to say I'm clip farming.
I really don't. My thumb hurts.
Yeah, I think you should go get a couple.
I will. You start fell off. Remember that one time?
It's crazy because, like, even if I do act myself, like, people are going to say I'm clip farming. They can hear everything. Are we running a route?
We about to run a route?
Yeah. I actually got a right on kickoff. I got to go to.
Who's Mike?
I found Jackson.
Call. What up, Mike? We're actually in the trench.
I'm mic'd up, boy.
This was a terrible decision to mic up Willie. Please don't ever do it again. Thank you. This is Coach Robertson.
So actually, the mic found me. So this must be destiny. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life to be mic'd up. Hey, Jackson. I got it, yeah. So rude. You're so mean, it's so rude. I don't know if the camera's watching, but this is my homie Will from Hawaii. Hey, Will, you want to just give a shout out to anybody back home, baby?
Shout out my mom.
It was on the floor.
Dude, that shit was so funny. You go, what's the plan? I go, what's up, man? It's D-line.
It's done. It's done. It's done. Run to the ball, run to the ball. To do. He's just telling you what I'm doing. You guys have it easy, bro. Sack, baby. Oh, yeah. That's sack. Good job, Mark. I love it. I love it when I have no break. Explosive get off. What? Yeah. Yeah. The mic gives me extra powers. I don't know. It's Bryce Crowley. Oh, man. Oh, damn it, Bryce. Never! That's unfortunate. Look at this ball. Look at this ball. You a ball, boy. What's that? Okay. I just wanted to lean on his shoulders. Okay. Have water? Huh? I like you lean on my shoulder. Let me sip that. Thank you. You ever see those? Hey, man, if you ever want to see some good content, man, white lightning. Whatever. See you, chat.
All right, that was Willie Engelau taking the mic away from receiver Daniel Thomason. Boy, there are a couple of characters right there. However, we just learned a little bit ago that Willie Engelau, he's been battling some injuries the last few weeks, basically all season long, and he may not be able to play today as well, so we'll have to see at game time if he's able to trot out there. So, yeah, Trailblazers are banged up. They were banged up last week. They had a couple of guys step up. They're going to need those kind of guys to step up. Next man up. That's what they're going to have to do today against a very good Abilene Christian team. The Wildcats, by the way, ranked 18th in the country. All right, we're going to take our first time out. When we come back, we'll continue the hype from last week's overtime win, and later a big, tough defensive lineman gets scared easily. We'll tell you how when Trailblazer Kickoff comes back to Abilene, Texas.
Welcome to Utah Tech University. From classrooms to cliffs and lectures to lakes. Here, we celebrate active learning, active life. Our Trailblazers learn by doing, are career ready, and solve real problems with real partners to meet community needs. Here, students get the full college experience and choose from 300 affordable academic programs. All in one of the most stunning destinations on Earth. With this as your backyard, life is just as active as your education. Come experience active learning, active life at Utah Tech University.
All right, welcome back to Abilene, Texas. We're just under 20 minutes away from kickoff. Utah Tech and the Wildcats of Abilene Christian. All right, last week, Utah Tech, of course, picked up its first overtime win in its 20-year NCAA era. They made big plays when they had to, so let's go back to last Saturday in Greater Zion Stadium for this edition of Sounds of the Game. It's the third meeting between the North Alabama Lions and the Trailblazers. This is the first matchup here in St. George.
Trailblazers trying to get their first conference win.
Look in the mirror, it's gut check time for the Utah Tech Trailblazers.
Sacrifice to one another, work for one another. 1, 2, 3. Brent Stone right up the middle. Brent Stone, touchdown, Utah Tech, 35 yards. Brent Stone
carry, 35-yard carry for a touchdown, Trailblazers. That's a tedious touchdown.
Going deep down the sideline. Daniel Thomason makes an adjustment, makes the grab. There goes Daniel Thomason to the goal line. That's a touchdown, Utah Tech. Oh, what a play, Daniel Thomason. The field goal, Ilya Ubaidov. Ball is on the ground, goes through Destin Wade's hand, and Destin Wade's trying to get away from everybody and overthrows his receiver. And they do a slant, and it's caught. 15, 20, 25, 30, and there he goes down the left sideline. And that is Josh Rillos. Hit and intercepted by Utah Tech. Trailblazers defense coming up with a big play. And coming away with the interception is freshman Adrian Daleen.
Interception. First down, Utah Tech.
And he gives it to Allen, and he is met immediately and goes down again. That is Lolo Tavisi, the junior. Chapman into the secondary. Touchdown, Utah Tech.
Touchdown, Trailblazers.
North Alabama will be on offense to start the overtime period. First down this way. Good luck.
So here we go, ball game right here, 4th and 10 in overtime. Here comes the pressure, across the middle, caught, first down inside the 10. Oh, what a big pass play, Daniel Thomason. You go to your senior receiver. Here we go, 3rd and goal at the 4. Chapman to the right. Hand off Chapman to the goal line, touchdown Utah Tech. Asen Chapman in the end zone. His second touchdown of the afternoon. Trailblazers an extra point away from getting their first conference win. Ilya Uvaidov for the win in overtime. It's good! Utah Tech wins it! 34-33. What a game!
What a game indeed!
What a game!
How about that? Come on!
Hey, 3 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, a big shout out to our Utah Tech interns, Ariel Frederickson and Ryan Keith, for producing and editing the sounds of the game for us. Part of our Active Learning, Active Life mission here at Utah Tech. So that was all the excitement from the win a week ago, but how exactly were the Trailblazers able to get it done? Well, for that, we head into the film room. Head coach Lance Anderson with this edition of Film Session.
One of the things we've talked a lot about as a football team in recent weeks is just the ability to make plays and be able to finish football games. And in order to do that, you've got to make critical plays throughout the game. So on defense, I want to start here with one of our plays at the end of the first half. Here, North Alabama has the ball in the red zone. At this point, they're trying to punch it in and score the game and tie the score right before the end of the half. On this particular play, we start with a really good pass rush here by our outside linebacker, number 20, Dallin Havea, here on the defensive left. Now, what I really want to emphasize with this rush by Dallin is the great get off here, the ability that he has to chop, rip, get underneath the defensive tackle, get his hips turned back to the quarterback, and hit the quarterback just as he's throwing. As he does that, you see the ball go into the air, and then it's intercepted here by our freshman linebacker, Adrian Daleen. If we go to the end zone here, again, I want to start with number 20 here, Dallin Havea, and I want to just point out his pass rush here, where he's able to chop with his right hand, then immediately go to a rip with that right arm as he steps through with the right leg. Then you're going to see him get underneath this tackle. He's able to get his hips and his toe pointed back at the quarterback and then finish right there, affect the throw, and then you see Adrian Daleen pick that thing off. So this not only prevented them from putting points on the board, we're able to take possession, run out the rest of the first half. We got on the verge of getting into field goal possession, and then we were able to take possession to start the second half, which again was critical in this game. All right, just continuing my theme of being able to make plays that will be able to win a football game. On offense here, this was a very critical play for us in the game. This is 4th and 10 in overtime. It was a must-convert situation here, and this was a huge play for us in order to be able to go down and win this game in overtime. So we've got 4th down and 10 right here, and North Alabama is going to bring an all-out cover 0 pressure. So what we're able to do here is we're able to change the protection. So now Chris Street is able to step up here and do a great job in protection. Then the pass route that we have designed here is on the outside. We're going to run a comeback route here to clear out the defense here on the outside. Our receiver here on the hash is going to run down the seam to clear the defense out there. You're going to see Eric Olson run a shallow cross here across the field to pull any underneath defenders with him and to clear the coverage out underneath. And what we are trying to target on this particular play is our receiver here, Daniel Thomason, where he's going to run up the field and run a dig route. And then this is where we are trying to get the ball. We do a great job in protection. Bronson Barbin does a great job of buying time, stepping up in the pocket, letting everything clear out, and letting Daniel get open. And he delivers an outstanding throw right here. We get a great throw by Bronson, great catch by Daniel. We pick up the first down, and eventually we score a touchdown here. We hit the extra point and win the football game. So let's take a look at this particular play. Again, looking at the protection with Chris Street stepping up. Bronson directs him to step up. You see the all-out pressure look. We're able to do a great job in protection. Here Bronson steps up, waits for Daniel to get open on that dig route across the middle, delivers a great throw and catch. Big 4th down conversion here. I want to take you through it one more time, just from the sideline here. As you watch everybody doing their job, playing their role, with Eric Olson, clearing out the underneath coverage, the comeback route here that occupies the outside defender, the receiver running down the hash here to clear that out, allowing Daniel to come right in here for the first down. So let me take one more look at that from the sideline, and a tremendous execution all the way around. Now, from the end zone here, you watch the all-out pressure, you watch the linebackers step up in the A gaps, and you just see a great job of protection everywhere by the offensive line, our running back, Chris Street. You look at the time that Bronson has to step up, throw, and boy, you see a great throw right there. So again, critical play in us winning this game is this 4th down conversion in overtime.
Okay, we are just under 10 minutes away from kickoff. Utah Tech and Abilene Christian coming back. Trailblazer tails, it's a little spooky, and the guy gets really scared. That's when Trailblazer kickoff comes back to Abilene, Texas.
Welcome to Utah Tech University. From classrooms to cliffs and lectures to lakes. Here, we celebrate active learning, active life. Our Trailblazers learn by doing, are career ready, and solve real problems with real partners to meet community needs. Here, students get the full college experience and choose from 300 affordable academic programs. All in one of the most stunning destinations on Earth. With this as your backyard, life is just as active as your education. Come experience active learning, active life at Utah Tech University.
8 minutes away from kickoff, Trailblazers and Wildcats, both teams about ready to get back out on the field and get this game underway. Now, for senior defensive lineman Cody Carlson, he has been an anchor on the defensive line since coming here 2 seasons ago. It's time now to get to know Cody Carlson just a little bit better in this edition of Trailblazer Tales.
Hi, I'm Cody Carlson. I'm a redshirt senior from Lake Oswego, Oregon. I play defensive end. My family, my dad, Mike Carlson, I got to go to his high school, live in his childhood home. My sister Lily currently goes to school over in England. She graduates next year. And then my mom, she lives in Clackamas, Oregon, and is just working. My first sports memory goes back to, I think it was first grade, playing in my first competitive basketball game, and you know, I went up to block this shot, and I just remember it echoing throughout the whole gym, and you know, my entire family. That's exactly how they described it. Like there was a bomb that went off, and just kind of like the enthusiasm behind it is kind of what encouraged me to play basketball and what gave me that love for sports. And you know, I thought I was going to take basketball all the way, but then you know, stopped growing. You know, height-wise, continued to get a little bit more muscle, so decided to kind of focus on football and took that throughout high school, took that into junior college before I came here. A big football memory for me has always been, we had a coach from my high school who had ALS, and we always had groups that would be able to go and meet with him, and luckily I was able to, you know, do that my senior year, got to really know him. He writes letters to us each week before the games and kind of will come in when he's able to and give us our speech before the game to get us all hyped up. I would say one thing that people don't know about me is I can't do scary movies. I'm absolutely scared of them, can't sit down and watch them, and just if I'm forced to, you know, you'll catch me on my phone a lot. Probably my girlfriend's gotten me to try to watch Insidious, and you know, about 5 minutes into that I said, yeah, I'm gonna get on my phone.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That's the kind of movie I want to stay clear of as well. All right, we are about 5.5 minutes away from kickoff. Utah Tech and the Abilene Christian Wildcats. Time now to get the final thoughts with head coach Lance Anderson.
Abilene Christian is a really good football team. Offensively, they are very balanced. They do a great job throwing the ball, great job running the ball. They got some big physical running backs. Defensively, there's a lot of variety in terms of what they do. Variety in coverages, variety in fronts. There's a lot we got to be prepared for. And again, a really good football team. So we're going to need to go out, play as hard as we can, and we're going to have to execute at a high level.
What did your team gain and learn from last week's overtime win?
I think the big thing is just finishing and understanding that, hey, even though there are ebbs and flows and momentum, there are high points, there are low points, we can never stop battling, never stop playing, and then finding a way in the end, whatever it takes to finish. And I think it hopefully gives us a little more confidence, make sure our guys understand that we are on the right track. We just got to keep working to get a little bit better each day.
And in this week's practice, have you noticed that they've been able just to build on what they did last week?
I really think so. Again, this time of the year, you got a lot of guys banged up, but I mean, it doesn't seem to matter, you know, who's out there. Those guys are playing with good effort. They're working to get better every single day, and that's all we can ask.
What is it that you would like to improve on, even from the win last week?
Okay, you know, starting defensively, again, just need to tackle better. Again, got to be more sound in terms of just playing with leverage, fitting our gaps. Those are all eye control. Those are all things that we can get better at. I think we've improved on from last year, but just something week to week that we need to continue to get better. What I'd like to continue offensively is just the way we were able to finish drives, put the ball in the end zone. That was a real positive. We had a little bit of a lull there in the third quarter where we had, you know, I think every series in the third quarter was either one first down and out or a 3 and out, and we just need to keep that momentum going, you know, throughout the game.
Did you learn anything about your team in that win?
I think the biggest thing I learned is that, I mean, this is a group of competitors, guys that want to get better. Again, we're not perfect. We have a lot of things that we need to improve on, a lot of things that we need to get better on. But just in that game and throughout the year, I'm impressed by the fact that the guys show up every day. They give effort. They're working to get better. We do that, we are going to eventually get to where we want to be.
All right, the Trailblazers making their way out onto the field as we are just a few minutes away from kickoff. Utah Tech and Abilene Christian, fourth ever meeting between these two. And Utah Tech looking to make it 2 straight wins after last week's overtime win against North Alabama. You can hear this game right here on the Fan Sports Radio Network. Utah Tech, Abilene Christian, kickoff